to my Sickle Cell Life podcast. My name is Jan, and today we have another warrior that we're going to be talking to about her story. Okay, so first things first, what is your name, age, and your location?
My name is Latashia. I am 40, 40, okay, and I'm from New Orleans.
Okay, I hear that New Orleans accent. I love I love New Orleans accents. Oh my God. I
Thank you.
wish I wish I had, some people call me country, but I don't hear it. But
They
yeah,
call us country too, girl.
yeah, but y'all have y'all have a unique accent though, like it's so unique. But anyway, so what is your genotype of sickle cell?
I have SS.
SS. Okay.
Yeah.
I do as well. And
Yeah.
so what has it been like growing up in New Orleans with sickle cell?
It was okay. I can actually say that because growing up, I had support, and not only that, I had a parent who let me do things instead of saying, "Oh, you got sickle cell, you can't do this." And you know how some people be, "Oh, you got sickle cell, you can't swim. Oh, you got sickle cell, you can't." Girl, I did everything.
That's what's up. That's
I did Girl Scout March, whatever you name, I did. Whatever my body permitted, I did it. Okay.
okay.
And there was times I ended up in the hospital missing school and stuff like that. But for the most part, growing up for me, girl, I was like social. I was outside, okay? But
Okay.
sometimes I would be hospitalized at some points like during school, um, I think like vividly high school, I was in a lot of activities and I was out like a whole month. They was like, girl, where you been? And I didn't used to tell people back then, like I didn't tell people, oh, I had sickle cell. Because back up, I was a little bitty, I was so small. Like I was like small. So I didn't want people to like, I don't know, I think look at me as a weakness or something like that. Because
Yeah.
girl, I fighting and all that, girl. I was bad. But I got through it. I'm a change, but I had a good childhood. Dealing with sickle cell, it wasn't bad. I had my moments, but it wasn't as bad.
Okay. That's what's up. And so, did your parents find out upon birth, and did they tell you like what that was like for them to find out, or
Yeah. They found out, I think after 6 months.
6 months? Okay.
Yeah. After
Oh,
6 months. And I remember like when I was maybe I don't know, like 3 grinding, like they used to try to get me to drink vegetable juice and,
mhm.
try to keep me out the hospital, but I was so rebellious to that stuff because it didn't taste good to me, as a baby,
Right.
or whatever. But she, did her best. A lot of times as sickle cell patients, we be isolated. We be alone majority of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely get that. So when you do you feel that the activities and things like that you were in, did they have an impact on your crisis, or
Um,
did, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, or you feel like it was just random with your crisis?
Yeah, it was just random. Cause girl, I go swimming and I be fine. It's more for me was like the weather changes and
Yeah.
like steam from the shower. Like I
Oh,
had to come into the same temperature room,
okay.
So for me, it wasn't more activity unless I'm like was really exhausted, like exhausted myself. But I used to drink a lot of water, so I was okay, you know.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. And so, are you the only person in your family with sickle cell, or do you have?
Yeah, I'm the only person that has the disease, but my sister and my two brothers, they have the trait.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
lucky me, right?
yeah. So what do you think, or did it impact your relationship with your siblings, like when you would go into the hospital and things like that? Because I know with kids, they don't really understand,
Mhm.
what's going on, when you do go into the hospital. And especially if you're the only one, I don't know if they really kind of get it. Because I know with my siblings, I'm the only one, so they thought that I was getting more attention.
Mhm.
So, did you ever have any issues with your siblings feeling like you're getting all the attention, or
No, not really, because my mama balanced it. Like she'll come, be a few hours, and then go home to take care of them. Because we close in age growing up. We like a year behind each other. And me and my brother, we like Irish twins. We like right, all us. Like my older brother, he's like 43, 42, 40. So we right behind each other. So she had to balance it. Like, okay,
yeah,
come here with you, then I gotta go. So
yeah,
when she did leave, I was like alone, which I
oh yeah,
gotta. So I like my solitude, to be honest. I growed into it. I had no choice, right?
right, yeah, yep. I understand because there was times my mom had to leave me alone at the hospital and things like that. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you're saying. So do you know how many crises you had when you were younger versus now? Do you think it's better or worse, or
Um, hmm. The ones that I remember when I was younger, I was in the hospital, but it wasn't as much. I was there like probably maybe 10 times
uh,
out of like maybe 5 years or something like that.
right?
So it was okay, but now I know how to navigate it. Girl, I'll be outside, I'll be traveling. Like I know what works for me now. And
Right,
I know my body now. As a child, you still developing, you're still learning, you still doing stuff, trying to figure out what triggers it and how
right,
can you prevent it. But as an adult, I have more understanding, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Mm,
I understand. So, do you know what your biggest triggers are? I know you said the weather. Is it? Do you
yeah.
know of any
Girl,
other?
yeah, that's why I don't go nowhere up north, girl. I stay where the sun, we deal with a little cold, but it don't get that cold like that. And
Yeah,
for as like the shower, like what I need to do, because girl, I could come out the shower, come into the room, and the room could be like a different temperature. You know what
yeah,
I mean? So that'll kind of trigger. And then I learned on the plane when I first started traveling on a plane, I feel like I couldn't breathe. Like my first flight, I'm like, oh my God, the oxygen level here is insane. So
mm,
I had to prepare myself for that. So that's kind of my triggers. Other than that, like if something comes, it's either my blood is low or something like that, something
okay.
I can't prevent.
Right, right, yeah, yeah, and yeah, I've heard about the plane where they say you probably would need oxygen when you get
Yeah.
on the plane and things like that.
Yeah.
So I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up. So, um, have you had have you been pretty good basically with sickle cell, or have you had any like major complications from sickle cell?
Yeah, I had, well, when I had like maybe 3 surgeries.
Okay.
Yeah, like my appendix, gallbladder, the stuff
Oh, oh,
that they normally uh be associated with it, like my appendix, gallbladder. And I had like a complication when I had my second daughter or
okay.
whatever. But that's
Okay.
that's about it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think you may be the only person I've heard say they had their appendix removed. Usually
Yeah.
it's the spleen or the
I know, I
gallbladder.
know.
Yeah.
That's fine, thank God. But
Right.
it was my appendix. It was inflamed like bad.
Oh, wow. How
Yeah.
old were you when you had that surgery? Do you
Like
remember?
34, I think. 30. I was
Oh,
like 30 something.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So not that long ago.
Yeah, like about 30 something. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had my I had my gallbladder removed when I was like 16, 17.
Yeah, me too. Like the gallbladder, I was more a teenager, like 17, 18, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You still have your spleen, and you just now basically a few years ago had issues with your appendix.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've never had any issues, but
Yeah.
that's what's up. So, um, overall, what would you say, or how has life been navigating sickle cell?
I mean, for me, this how I look at it. I don't complain because life can be worse. And
Yeah,
we was picked, unfortunately, due to them not knowing, to get your partner checked to make sure y'all don't have the same genes. They didn't get checked for that back
right,
then. I did it with my kid's father to make
right,
sure 'cause I didn't want my child to have to deal with that, right?
right. Yeah, it's,
For me, it's a blessing and it's a curse. Because regardless of not, I still look at it, I'm still gonna do me. I'm still gonna be outside. I'm still going to live. I'm still going to, if life permits me to. Even when I'm in the hospital, I'm jolly, I'm happy. Like long if I'm not while I'm in pain, because I don't play like that. Like when I'm in pain, it hurts. But other than that, I'm working, I'm moving around, girl, I'm gone. So I don't
oh,
let that, you got to put that because you can get depressed. Like
right.
I talk to the younger girls or even just boys, if you sit in that space, you will get depressed. Like
Yeah,
get out the hospital if your body allows you to move, get up, get out, move around because you can't dwell on it. You got to keep it
yep, yep. You're so right. You are so right. I That's good though that you're able to maintain a positive
moving.
attitude and things like that toward it and not let it impede on your life, because I have talked to other warriors. They haven't, they're basically in the same boat. They haven't really had major complications, but they do let the pain get to them, and it does mess with your mental and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's good to hear that despite what you've been through, you still have a positive outlook on life. You're not letting it get you down or any of that. That's good.
Yeah.
So uh uh with your children, that do they have the trait? Do both of your children have the trait?
No, I got them tested. I was surprised. It was like, no, they don't have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I was like, thank God.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
a miracle. You're just like Bo. I don't know if you've seen the other episodes I did, but Bo, one of his children don't have it either. Both of
Yeah.
both of my kids have the trait though. So I was
Yeah.
gonna say, educate, educate, educate.
Yeah, because it's informative, because that's how you can prevent it. Because,
Right.
they didn't know back then, but now it's so much research and stuff, and you can sit there and explain to them, look, these kids are smart, they
Mm,
understand.
yes, yes. So Um, that is what's up. So have you as far as like your job and things like that, have you ever had any issues with work and things from being out of work when you're hospitalized or missing work, or how do you navigate that with your job?
Well, with the job, let me tell you what I do. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but with with the job, once I get the job, then I let them know this is what I have sickle cell. So I can be in today, out tomorrow, or I can be out for an extended long period of time. Luckily that didn't happen, but there was a time where I was working as a inmate and I was out for like a month, but I took FMLA. So
Okay.
I don't know if when you have to
Yeah.
be out and you just apply for like short-term disability or whatever it is. Um, yeah, but it wasn't no issue. It was never an issue. I find like the jobs that have rules and they go by the regulations, because they have people who have their own business, they just don't follow the rules or anything. So I tend to, go towards those type of jobs, who have FMLA, who have benefits and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, and that's what's up. So
Yeah.
have you been able to like do physical jobs, or do you uh have you had like mostly sit down jobs and some things like that, like desk jobs?
Girl, no, girl. Like we'll sit down sometimes. We have to document. Like I said, I'm a medical assistant. So we
Oh,
used to you have to document, but girl, I know we had to pick up the patient. It was extreme. Sometimes we had to do CPR. So it just depends. And I feel like I was about to die. I would feel like I was pumping for a minute.
mm,
Pumping for like a long time. But I had a plan. Like what I feel fatigue, and if I do, I'll let my coworker know because it was more than just me. It was like four of us. So I let them know, like I kind
right.
of feel busy. They'll be like, "Girl, go take a break, go sit down," and they'll cover for me. So I had good coworkers and
Oh,
stuff like that. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it
That's
wasn't too bad. Yeah,
that's what's up. So what is your regimen to keep yourself healthy? Like, because I know there's
Got
some warriors out there that they don't they don't really know how to take care of themselves properly to stay out of the hospital. So
yeah.
how do you keep yourself out of crisis and out of
Okay.
the hospital? You have special
First,
things you do?
first, I'm gonna put a little thing. Follow your doctor, okay? But
Right,
what works for me might don't work for you.
right.
But you could take whatever you want from this. Me personally, the last 4 years, well, I think the last three, since the lawsuit with Obrexa came
Hmm.
out, right? Because they put me on that medicine like 3 years ago, but I wasn't taking it constantly, right? I just felt that like I had to detox from everything. I don't take anything right now. Like only thing I might take every now and then is folic acid, but like pain meds, unless the only time I take a pain med unless I'm in pain or I have to go to the doctor for pain, I take none of it because I feel like my pain was getting worse from the pain medicine. I don't
Yeah,
understand. Like once you start taking it and then your body get used to it, and you have those aches and pains, and bad enough you have aches and pains anyway from your disease, right?
right.
So I felt like that wasn't doing my body good. So I had to detox, girl, and it was hard because my
Yeah,
body was used to those medicines for like years, them pain medicines and stuff for like years. And now
yeah,
for me, I feel like it worked for me. I feel more energized. I feel more healthy. I feel, my body doesn't hurt as much as it used to with the medicine. Because I
right.
think once that medicine well, you feel them, they ache. And what you got to do? Take another medicine, right? You take another. So I didn't want to go to, because we already get labeled as having an addiction.
Hmm.
They like to play with us like that. When
Yeah,
people do, and they do have warriors who be in severe pain, because when I'm in a crisis, baby, I'm hurting. And
yeah,
they might don't see it as that because everybody pain just say like we're in a pain crisis. I can look just regular,
yeah.
like I'm
Mhm.
not crying or anything, and they'll be like, "Well, you don't look distressed," because I had a doctor tell me that I didn't look distressed. I mean, excuse me, sir, I don't look distressed. What you want me to come in shoveled and like
Right.
I'm sitting here, like I had to report him and stuff like that, and it came back because the numbers and everything. I was in a severe crisis. And he told
Right.
me to look distressed because I wasn't like
Right.
getting my hair out.
Right. They expect you to look sick, as they say. They expect
Yeah.
you to be breaking down, screaming, crying, anything. And then if you're even halfway decent looking like you are beautiful.
Oh,
So
thank
they think that what could possibly be wrong with you? Look at you.
you.
It's like, can we get past how we look?
Right, because you can look a certain way, but your body in the inside, they have cancer patients. You wouldn't even know they have cancer. They
Right.
have a different, diseases and people you wouldn't be able to tell. So that's unfair, to even be. And I had got judged that way too. It's like, wait, let me make sure. Because I went to like another hospital because the hospital I normally go to be packed, and the wait time was so long. And I
Yeah.
went to another hospital. It was like, I don't think you have. Let me check you to make sure you have sickle cell because you don't even look like. I said, what it supposed to look like?
Right.
Like we all different. Like what is supposed to look like?
Is
I'm like Jesus Christ.
yeah, is it and and that was gonna be one of my questions too. Like, have you had issues with the hospital because they they go based off how you look. And
Yeah, I did. I had like with nurses, like I have a big like things like for nurses. Like I say, I treat patients because that's the most intimate moment. They coming to you for help, right? During
right,
their most intimate moments, and you're gonna treat them like shit. Like that's not appropriate, right?
right,
So for me, my thing is I can understand you might be overworked a little bit or you might be burnt out because you're running around. They got you doing discharge, registration, and this and that. I can understand that. But at the same time, you're in here to help. We all been somewhere we didn't want to go or work somewhere we didn't want to work, but that don't give you the right to treat somebody how you want to treat them, right? Like mistreat them. And then they're sick. Like what the hell? So
mm,
I had some messed up nurses, and I also had some good ones. Just like with doctors, I had some ignorant doctors who don't even know about sickle cell. I used to ask for
right,
hematologists because you'll be shocked how many doctors they really don't know about it because they don't learn about it in medical school. It's only probably like 2 pages, 3 pages that they go through, and
right,
they don't know. So I applaud the doctors who sit there and listen to you and understand it's your body. You tell me how you feel, and we're gonna go off that. You know what I mean?
mm,
We're gonna look at the blood and we're gonna look at this too, because I've been pressured into getting blood transfusions. And I feel
mm,
like y'all was giving me so much fluid, it diluted the number.
yep,
So I'm like, no, I'm not getting all this blood because that's not good for you in the long run. You know what I mean? Because they ain't gonna be able to find blood for you. So
right,
I think people like the doctors and nurses should listen more to their patients and then assess the situation. You know what I mean?
right, yep. You're so right. And it's a shame that there's so many ignorant ones out there, but like you say, there are some good ones out there too.
Yeah. And they have some nurses be like, I don't feel if the doctor wrote this order, man, for me to have this at the same time with this same medicine, you're not the doctor. You need
Right,
to follow the order. I don't
mm,
feel comfortable giving you this ma'am. Go find somebody who feel comfortable
right,
because it's gonna get done regardless, whether you feel comfortable or not. Like he wouldn't have wrote it if it was gonna harm me. Or
right,
that's why we wear those monitors and stuff. We on monitors. So
yeah,
and he wouldn't have wrote, he would have said separate this medication or put this medication 2 hours after this medication. If he's saying, because they act like a Benadryl and our pain med is just the death of us, or it's just too much. Baby, we got a high tolerance. We've been getting medicine since birth. Okay. If
right,
you don't poke that little medicine and keep it moving, I'm in pain, I'm itchy, I'm tired. I don't got the strength to fuss with you about what you don't feel comfortable doing. Find
right,
somebody else to. So if you
yeah,
ever find yourself in that situation, you call a charge nurse, right? Or a
right,
patient advocate, or get somebody, they'll fix it real fast because they don't
yeah.
want a problem.
Yeah. And they love to say, I don't feel comfortable. And it's like, but you don't understand how I feel. I don't feel comfortable either. That's why I'm
Exactly.
requesting this medicine. It's, it,
Exactly. Like,
it blows
girl.
my mind. They try to take their comfort over our comfort or over
Right.
our needs. And I just will never, ever get that. I will never
Right.
get it.
And my thing is, you took an oath as a nurse, as a doctor, to provide quality care to the patient. And
Yeah.
my thing is the doctor carefully, because he don't want to lose his license over killing somebody, over medicating them. So he's gonna make sure he's putting the orders in correctly. You
Right.
need to follow them. You're not the doctor, because some of the nurses act like they're the doctor.
Yeah.
And you be like, well, that's not what the doctor said, or they're oh the order, they'll lie about the order, and I'd be like, show me. Let me see. And oh, okay, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get the medicine. It's like,
It's
girl,
it's a shame. It's a
it
shame.
is.
Yeah. Well, so with your crisis, how often do you find yourself having crisis, or is it just,
Now,
unpredictable?
well, now since I just like withdraw everything and took just control of everything, I might have a crisis like once every 7 months, once every 6 months. It's not as often as it used to because I used to be in the hospital the last maybe 15 years, every almost every other month or something like that. Or
Yeah.
it hasn't been that often anymore since I follow my own regimen, what works for me, you know?
Yeah. So how did your
Yes.
doctors have any issues or give you any issues with wanting to detox and taper off of your medicine, or have you just
Um,
been like,
they was actually I have like a this African American doctor. So she was actually happy that I was going like a natural route because some doctors like, oh, like how we was told, oh, you're not gonna live past 20, or if you do this, you're not. We was taught that, like try to brainwash us
right,
that we die early and stuff like that. But
right, yeah,
she was actually happy, and she was like, whatever worked for your body. And then with this Obrexia stuff, she was like, I can understand. I'm like, baby, because they just making medicine and testing it on us at this point,
yep,
not
yep.
really thoroughly, going through the trials. They just want the money. You know how for the pharmaceutical companies are, you
Oh,
know.
oh yes, and that's, yeah, they're using us like guinea pigs
And
and
just
all of
testing.
that. Yeah,
And you don't know the long terms or the side effects of these medications.
right.
Yeah.
So, have you thought about, because you've been doing so good, have you entertained trying to get a cure or no?
No, I'm not messing with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I've been doing good because it's very I before that, before I was pregnant,
Mhm.
I actually went to AD Anderson to do it. Like they drew my blood. But once he started telling me about the transplant, I have to be on the floor for 6 months. You can still pass away from the this like fungal infection and
Mm,
the I think bone marrow can attack your body, can attack itself, your body, if it
right.
doesn't, if it rejects it,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, that's 2 years of torture,
Yeah.
baby. I'm good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
in, like, I'm not about to go put myself through that.
Right.
And for the ones who do, I have no problem with it, baby. Do you? But at this point, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. You-
Yeah.
I'm okay. It's not,
Yeah.
they have some sickle cell patients who's really miserable and who's really sick. You know what I mean? And they, if it works for them, that's, fine. But for me, it was a no.
Yeah. So the one that you were gonna try, was that the bone marrow transplant, or?
Yeah, it was bone marrow because they
Oh,
was gonna take it from a match. Like they was trying to see if my brother was a match or
oh,
somebody in my family or if they could find a match. Because in reality, like black people don't go and uh give bone marrow. They
right,
don't
right.
donate it. So you had to find like somebody in your family who was a match, but they more so wanted a sibling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had to take it from his hips. Like he would have to have, surgery, which is just like a 1 day thing. And
Right.
he'd be fine walking around. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not about to put myself, because for me it'll be a different thing. It was like 6 months. I had to be on a transplant floor. They had to wipe everything out with chemo,
Mm.
like wipe everything out and then give you that so your body could produce that. But it's a risk because what if your body reject it? And I heard people body reject it. People die from the fungal of infection that happens too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that host versus graft disease, or
Yeah.
whatever it calls when it rejects. I
Yeah, because I'm like, you done made it through, and then next thing you know, you get taken out by a fungus. I don't got time for that. That's why I was like, I'm okay.
yes.
I'm okay.
I understand. I really do. So, have you heard about the newest cure that they have, the CRISPR trial? It's the stem cell that they're doing.
No, I haven't. I didn't look into it, and I haven't heard about it. The reason why I ain't look into it because, like I said, I've been doing okay, so I'm okay with myself. But
Right,
I haven't heard about it. But if they it for me, like when you put a new car on the market, you got to see if it's going to have any recalls, any,
right,
pushback, any like maybe a year from now I might feel a little different way. Once it's out on the market, let's see what'll happen in the months in between. You know what I mean?
yeah. So, when you are in crisis and things like that, what what keeps you going? Like, do you have any other outlets? Because I know there's people in our community when they're in pain and things like that. They write, they draw, they all. So, do you have like alternative ways to relieve your pain?
Girl, I love music. Like I might, I like poetry too. So I
Okay.
might listen to music, write poetry, or listen to poetry or something like that. You know, And for me just helping, like when I see another sickle cell, a young one too, is that because they like young, so they're not really, they understand because they deal with the pain, but they was told the same thing I was told. Like, you're not gonna have a fulfilled life. You're not gonna do this. You can't have kids. You can't do that. All
Right.
the things you can't do, not what you could do.
Right. Yeah.
And I want them to know you could do that. You could fulfill your dreams. You could be that CEO. You could be that pilot. You could be whatever it is that you want to be. The
Yeah.
disease is only, we're just say we're 100%. The disease is 10. Our personality, our soul, our everything, our
Mm,
way there. And even though at the time when you're in the hospital, you just feel like this disease is taking over your life, find find what works for you and find a balance. Meditate. Do, clear your mind because stress is the number one cause.
yeah. Yeah. That's so right. Yeah. So right.
Yeah, of crisis. I know life be life, baby. Things is expensive. Things
Yeah.
going up, but you can't let that bother you, you know, no,
Yes.
and
So
set you in a crisis. Don't do it.
right. Yeah. You're so right. And thank you for that. So, do you think that sickle cell and having sickle cell motivated you to become a medical assistant, or was it just something like random?
It To be honest, I went to school to be a homicide detective because
Uh,
I'm into that type of stuff. But I found out you had to be the police on the police force
oh,
first. Like, and I didn't want to do that.
yeah,
I just want to come, like, I want to be the detective. I don't want to be 12, okay? I'll
right,
come after. I don't got the strength to be running behind nobody. I don't want to do all that. But
right,
I always had a passion for like helping other people, you
yeah,
know, whether it's our people, whoever it is. I'm just a person of service. I like that. That's a passion, for me. So that's how I end up there.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's some people that sickle cell motivated them to get into the medical field and things like that. So I was just wondering, but
Yeah.
that's what's up. So, when you do have your crisis and you're in the hospital, I know your kids are on the younger side, but do they understand what's going on, or do they fully get it, or do you find yourself having to explain why you're in the hospital and things like that?
Yeah, I have to explain because, like I said, my baby just turned 8 and my other baby just turned 6. So
Uh,
they young.
yeah,
But my kids are compassionate. Like, oh, mommy, your leg's hurting. Let me rub it. Or you got to go to the doctor. They know, like, I would have to, but they don't understand, like, okay, you have a disease, you have sickle cell. They don't understand that, it's they
right,
too young. But they all like when they see, oh, your stomach hurt, you don't feel good, you know, you gotta go to the doctor. They know that part, but they don't know the like the full spectrum of it, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they'll come to the hospital. They'll be with me in the hospital sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was so has sickle cell impacted your social life and your relationships? Like how do you navigate that when because I know you were saying earlier you don't really tell your employers and things like that about
Mhm.
sickle cell, and when you were younger you didn't really tell people.
Mhm.
So has that impacted your relationships, and how again how do you navigate that with relationships?
Well, I'm pretty good. I'm a social person, so I'm pretty good with being social with people.
Yeah.
But when if I'm going through a crisis or I just don't feel well, I withdraw. They be like, "Girl, where you been at?" Like, I just it's like she just fell off the map. Where she went at? Which is not the right thing to do because you're supposed to let people know, like, okay, my best friend, she know how I am, and then
Right.
I don't know if it's a Virgo thing or if it's just a sickle cell thing or I don't know, but I'm very social, and then I go missing for probably 2 weeks or something, or a month. They be like, "Well, what's going on? Where you been at?" And I
Right.
don't like the burden. I don't know if we all feel that way. Like when we're in the hospital, it feels like a burden.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
people, you in the hospital again, girl?
Mm,
You in the hospital? Like, girl, you can't stay out the hospital. Like,
right. Yeah.
ma'am, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. You think I
Right.
want to be here too? Like,
Right.
yeah. That's why I just, you know, which is not the right way. Like, because I do have supportive people, but I don't want to feel like a burden, if that makes sense. So I
Yeah.
isolate and I just deal with what I deal with, and then I pop back up like, what's going on? That's just how David Merkin says. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's the right way, but that's my way.
Right. Right. Yep. And I understand. I definitely understand. So, um, when it comes to like intimate relationships, your boyfriends and things like that, when do you tell them? Like, do you have a time frame of when you tell them, or do you, you know?
Girl, I just throw it out there. Like, they be trying to talk to me. I was like, baby, you cannot handle all this. Like, they're like, well, what's going
Mhm.
on, baby? I'm gonna tell you up front. So you'll know what you're getting into.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't wait. I don't do that. Like, I don't wait until somebody invests and then it'll be like, pow, I have sickle cell. No, babe, I'm gonna tell you on the phone, the little phone trial period, the first weeks we talking or whatever, you're gonna be informed. And whether you want to deal with it or not, somebody else will. That's why I tell sickle cell pit baby, they got somebody for everybody. If he feel like he can't support you and he don't want to, or he feel like it's a burden or it's too much, baby, let Jana do. Go, he can go by his business. There's always somebody to deal with it who loved you. So
Mhm.
never feel like that.
Yes, I
But I
hear.
do, I do, I'm open and honest. So you gonna know. Like
Yeah.
first week
Th-
we talk or whatever, you gonna know.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's good to hear because
Yeah.
they're out there. There's people out there, like you said, they feel like a burden, so they keep it from their job, they keep it from their friends, they keep it from the people they're dating, and
Mhm.
I'm just like, I don't know if that's the right way to handle it, especially with intimate relationships.
Not me just like not telling anybody they know, but when I go into the hospital, I just don't bother people. You see what I'm
Right?
saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people have their own lives, they have their own jobs, but I do have support because they be like, "Girl, why you ain't say nothing? You in the hospital? Why you ain't say nothing? I could have came up there. Or, you
Mm,
just got to hospital. Why you ain't tell me? They be upset. You
yeah.
know? And then you got some that be like, "Girl, you in the hospital again?" That's the people you don't need around you because that's negativity, and you
Yep.
don't need that. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Because then if your body is dealing with stress, hurt, achiness, you don't need that.
Right. Yep. Yep. You are so right. So that's what's up. So when, like you say, you have a solid support system.
Mhm.
So is your main support system like your family and things like that? Like when you're in the hospital, are they able to get the kids and help you and stuff like that?
Yeah, see, I picked a good even though we didn't work out, I picked a
Yeah.
good A baby father, I could say that. Because he gonna get the kids, he gonna make sure they got what they need and everything. Be like, oh, you get yourself together and stuff like that. So I did pick, or God picked it. I don't know, whichever one, thank God. Please.
Yeah,
But yeah, so even though we didn't work out, um, he don't play about his kids. Like, oh, I'm coming, he could have them for 2 weeks while I get rest, work, whatever, like back and forth, because we don't stay too far from each other. So we back and
yeah.
forth. Yeah.
That that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that because there's a lot of people with sickle cell that don't have that. They do not
I
have.
know, girl, I know. And I feel so because sometimes you can't help with who you pick because some people wear masks. You know what I mean? And when shit hit the fan, you didn't expect him to act that way.
I, I'm glad to get your perspective because I hope that this will give a lot of, like you said, a lot of the younger warriors hope that
Yeah.
you can have a fulfilling life. You don't have to let sickle cell bring you down. You
Hmm.
don't have to, even when it does get you down, you don't have to have a pessimistic outlook on it. Like it's always going to be this way. You know, you're going to come
Right.
through the other side. So
Stay positive and work on your mental because most of it, like mentally, your
yeah,
mind, the negative thoughts is coming from yourself, right? So you got to learn how to cut that off, control that.
yeah,
When you have a negative thought, fulfill that, remove that, and have a positive thought. Like, I'm going to get through this. This
right.
just like a little, how you stop and get a little tune up. This like a little tune up, and I'm gonna be back on the road again. You just got to keep that because if
Yeah,
you dwell in that negative too long, you it's gonna be hard to dig out,
yeah.
dig yourself out. So with them negative thoughts, learn how to control the mind because that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's up. That thank you for that, giving that advice. Thank you.
I just want the warriors to be more informed. Learn, medications, look them up. Just don't not to say don't take that advice. If you feel like it's not right, go with your instinct. God gave us all discernment.
Yeah,
Listen to it.
yeah,
Your body will tell you, I
yeah,
can't, like, this is not working for me. This make me feel funny. This
mm,
is not, just listen to your body because you don't always have to listen to the doctor because sometimes they don't know.
right,
You the
yeah,
one's feeling it. They just writing the prescription, like, try this, see if this works, see if that, and you don't have to agree to that.
right, yeah,
You know how your body feel. You know what feels right. You know when the crisis coming because I know because I feel that little pain down my butt in my back. It's coming.
yeah, right, yeah,
Like, just have discernment, use your intuition, do what's best for you, and stay healthy and be strong, which we are anyway. You know.
yes, yes. They don't call us warriors for nothing, honey. They do not call us warriors for nothing. So
Yeah.
that's what's up. That is what's up.
Sickle cell and pregnancy.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
what was it? What was that like for you? Having your first child versus your second child.
Well, I had okay, the first child, because I said it backwards, but the first child, they almost killed me.
Oh
And
wow.
it was because I had an arrogant OB,
Hmm.
didn't want to take um like he didn't want to listen to my hematologist team, right?
Right.
So I was in Houston. So the medical center I had because I was high risk. So I had to be in the medical center, right?
Right.
So my doctors, everybody's there. This arrogant OB, which I had for, he started giving me problems around like while I was 6 months.
Mm-mm.
So when I get hospitalized, because I had a lot of crisis while I was pregnant, because my body wasn't used to this weight, the
Yeah.
fluid, like just changes to the body that
Right.
was very, very hard on me. My knees, girl, my knees was hurting because of the weight of the baby, right?
Right.
So I had to get fluid out my knee. I was hospitalized a lot. And he was like, didn't want to listen to the hematologist. Like y'all giving all this pain medicine and this girl, I was in severe crisis,
Right.
bad. And he's going against what the hemat like my doctors used to have to come to the OB floor for him. That's how bad it,
Mhm.
that's how bad it was. And he almost killed me because he didn't want to listen to them.
Yeah.
When I gave birth to the baby, first, let me just get this story out the way. When
Mhm.
I went in, so I had a C-section, right? It was scheduled because they had to take the baby at what 36 weeks because I was just having too many crises, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, we're gonna take this baby. They gave me an epidural. The lady went to cut me. I felt the cut, so
Mm.
they had to give me another epidural. So you know what two epidurals do, right? It suppresses your breathing.
Mm.
So I'm feeling like because it's numbing everything, right? So
Mm.
now it's two times, I guess, the numbing because the other one maybe took a long time to affect. So I'm like, I can't breathe. Like I'm telling the anesthesiologist, I can't breathe. He's like, "Oh, you're fine, you're fine." I'm looking at the machine, you're fine. They get the baby out, sew me back up and stuff like that. I get rushed back to the room. I have full blown pneumonia.
Mm. Mm.
Pneumonia.
Mm. Oh,
Girl. So
Jesus.
I had pneumonia, right? So then I lost a lot of blood. Then I was in hospital. They tried to send my baby home. My baby was completely fine. They trying to send my baby was there with me for 5 days. They tried to send my baby home, and I was in the hospital 15 days later,
Wow.
like a long time. And the OB doctor gonna say, "Oh, he gonna come in, sit down, and gonna say, "Oh, I should have listened to I should have listened to your team because I could have had you out here earlier." I say, "You think?"
Right.
So next time I had the baby, I made sure that doctor was not on the case. Like, sir,
Yeah.
you didn't listen to no advice. I understand you the senior doctor of this, but you never dealt with sickle
Uh,
cell.
right.
You dealing with that, we're different. And they're here to help. That's why I had two different teams. That's why they was coming downstairs and stuff like that. But he was just so like I'm the lead man on this case. He was so it was more ego,
Right.
arrogant, instead of worrying
Mm.
about my health and concern, right? So
Yep.
I tell anybody who pregnancy, who get pregnant, everybody's story is not the same, but make sure you're informed. Make sure you pick a proper doctor, that you feel comfortable with. And if they're giving you any pushback or any, get you a replacement doctor. Don't wait up until 6 months because you're gonna have a hard time finding
Yep.
another doctor.
Yes.
So
Yep.
make sure, you get your ducks in a row, because you can have a successful pregnancy, a successful baby, because which we were taught we couldn't, but
Right.
you can. And they
Mm.
have a lot of words that is doing it. So the ones who's not, just make sure you have a proper doctor, make sure you're informed, make sure you're hydrated, and just make sure you overall educated with who you let provide this care. Because that a lot of people who's not sick go in and don't make it back out.
Oh, I know.
So
Ooh.
imagine, you know, us on top of that, you are high risk. Like these was healthy girls making it and not making it back out because of
Right.
the doctors did not, all doctors, but those doctors who made those negligent decisions.
Yep. Yep. And our mortality rate when we are giving birth is so much higher
Higher, you're right.
than, than
It's
anybody
sad.
else.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they think I would pay, and they think we just this. Oh, when we asked, I'm gonna tell this story too. In the ER, they had this guy. He was white, right? He was there for like I heard like something for bladder. They gave him morphine, but I have sickle cell, and you giving me a hard time to get the medicine that I need. Like, are you serious? They think I would pay, like I was like, is they serious?
Right. Yeah. Oof, Jesus. Yep.
Yeah, and they just was like he's there for something like real simple, which he that could have been painful for him because men don't really they
Yeah.
will not handle pain like that. But they gave him that and gave me a hard time for something I was born with to even give me medicine to treat it. You
Right.
so it's just like educating yourself, know your regulations, know who to talk to when you're having those issues.
Yeah.
who to go to, because you don't have to deal with that doctor if they're not treating you properly. We're paying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're paying their salary.
Right. Yeah.
They
They
get paid
work
off
for
the tip.
us.
You're right. So if you're displeased with the doctor, you can go over them and find and let them know this is happening, and they'll do something about it.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's that. You're so right. And I've had similar experiences with you, especially with the OBGYN. I
Mm-hmm.
I had to fire my OBGYN for my second son, and he was the senior OBGYN as well. But he was sitting in my ER room telling me that I shouldn't have my child, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what what are you talking about? You're
Right.
definitely not touching me after you
Right.
telling me that I shouldn't have my child. And I'm
Right.
married. This baby was planned. This was not
Right.
an accident, you know?
Right. And
So,
even if it was an accident, you don't tell nobody what if this is what the Lord wants and then you want the same thing. Who are you to come in a room and decide what I should not do? Either you
right.
can treat me for it, help me through it to get through it, and do the best that you can, and provide that quality care, or send me to somebody that can. I don't
Yeah.
need your advice. You're not a counselor to me. You're my health advisor, my health, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Like,
provider. You're my like, yeah, you're not a counselor. You're not like, you don't run an abortion clinic. And especially
right.
when I'm not even entertaining abortion. I haven't come to you saying I don't want this baby or anything. Like,
Right.
you were just so bold to say that to me. And every time I had to like go into the office and they tried to assign me to him, I'd be like, nope, I don't want to see him. Well, they're like, well, you're gonna have to see everybody in the just in case your assigned doctor isn't there when you have the baby. Well, look, I don't care. I do not want this man to touch me. He told me I
Right.
shouldn't have my baby, so he don't have to deliver my baby. He don't have
Right.
to touch me. And guess what? They discharged me from that OBGYN and I went somewhere else. 'Cause
Yeah.
I wasn't having it. I wasn't having
Yeah. That's extremely uncomfortable. Like you come in a room, it's ways of talking. You cannot make decisions for me. Just let me know my options as a provider.
it.
And
Right.
can you fulfill what, because basically you're getting paid for me coming here. So can you fulfill what is it I need? If
Mm,
you can't, like, direct me to someone else, or I will find someone else. Don't tell me oh, you shouldn't be having a baby. Oh, you shouldn't be, sir. No.
right. That
Read
is,
the room, okay? I'm
yeah.
pregnant already. Read the room. What do you want me to do? Like, read the room.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Well, and I appreciate that you sharing that story about your pregnancy, because that's one thing uh we hadn't really covered a lot on
Mhm.
the podcast yet, is talking about the process of being pregnant with sickle cell and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
you have to see a lot of doctors. You're gonna have a lot of doctor's appointment. They're gonna have you coming in there every month,
oh,
all the month, when pregnant and stuff like that, because you're considered high risk.
yeah,
And they're
yeah,
gonna test your baby as well. Your baby's gonna get tested to make sure, they don't have sickle cell. And they can do that from you, like when they do the pregnancy panels and stuff. Once you get
yeah,
I, up in months. Because I know back then they couldn't tell. After, I know when I was younger, it
yeah,
had to wait until I was a certain amount of months. But
right,
now technology changed. They could tell you, you know, while the baby's still in you, they could tell you
yeah, yeah,
after, either after, wait till my baby. I think it was I think it was after she was born. They told me, but
uh,
but she was a little bitty baby. It was a number, probably like the beginning. She probably was like a month, and they was able to tell.
yeah.
And
Well,
she's
that I'm glad you made it out of that situation, because oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah, it was scary too.
It is so crazy. And they literally, some of these doctors like to play with our lives. And
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
say, they work for us. You need to go find someone else if they are not doing what they have been called to do. So,
right.
Yeah.
If y'all know, because some doctors, they take their beliefs into stuff, and you're supposed to be biased. You're supposed to just there to provide quality care, not what you believe that should be done. You need
Right.
to do what you think is medically necessary.
Exactly. Exactly. It has nothing to do with your religious beliefs.
Or
But yeah,
opinion,
right.
right?
It's all about, is this medically necessary? Is this my job? Does it need to be done? Is this the best course of
Right.
action?
And then
Is
you can get a
this,
second opinion, right? And if you don't agree, please get a second opinion, because you can do.
yeah,
You're entitled to.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah. Well, definitely
Mhm.
thank you for the information, and thank you for sitting with me. I really,
Very
really appreciate it. You entertaining me and coming on the podcast and everything like that. So thank
Girl,
you.
no problem. Like we sitting on the phone, girl. Just having a
Yes,
conversation.
yes. So
Yeah.
I am so glad to have met you, and heard just a small piece of your story and your life with sickle cell. I'm so glad you're doing well. I know this is going to give a lot of warriors hope, especially the young ones that are
Yeah.
going through it. I'm about to be 36, so I'm only like 5 or 4 years younger than you. So
Okay.
for the younger ones that's even younger than us, I know it could get really hard for them. So
Yeah.
you definitely will give a lot of people hope. You will give a lot of women hope, a lot of men hope, a lot of people hope, period. And so I love that.
To continue to be strong, all my warriors.
Yes.
Strong. You can do it. You can get through it. Okay. And
Yeah.
keep going first and meditate. Keep that mind quiet. Okay.
Yes.
And y'all
Yes.
doing a good job so far, because I know it's very hard, and it is, but you've been picked to have this. I don't know why. I can't say why, but you're doing a good job, and that you're doing the best that you can do.
Yes.
So keep positive, keep going, keep doing the damn thing. Okay.
Hey, I hear that. I hear that. So, Um, thank you to
Awesome.
everyone that's going to watch this on the back end. Thank you guys so much for your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Okay. And we will definitely see y'all in the next one. Okay.